Good Friday to you. I saw this mentioned elsewhere and I felt the need to talk about this one real quick. So, the mass graves being dug in New York. Let me cut right to the foundation of what I see here. Whether this is real or not, bodies of the dead, real or not, being buried there, it's for unclaimed bodies. Here, this being dug on Hart Island in New York. So, let me cut right to the foundation, the cracked foundation of this broken sorcery, because it's quite tiresome. But here's what I see and feel from it. This is part of the same ongoing ritual, this whatever corona ritual, because the imagination is eclipsed. So, as before during the 9/11, when the towers came down, this and that, and Building 7 that represented care, empathy, spirit, that being brought down, and folk not being none the wiser. Temple of Solomon, wisdom, whatever. It's nonsense. So now here on Hart Island, or the heart, you could relate to the heart, or where your empathy or care center resides, where the core of you resides, of your spirit, maybe your soul. Well, now they're digging a trench physically on the metaphorical or spiritual, so to speak, place called Hart Island, because that's part of the spell. Because now you feel bad and you feel, oh, that's a shame, all these unclaimed bodies and these poor folks, these poor men and women. Yeah, that's the trick. It's because folk don't know they're men and women fully yet and what that means. So they think they're somewhere else in their mind. And this is part of the spell, to dig a trench, so to speak, in your heart. So that way you misuse and misplace your empathy unnecessarily and make yourself feel bad in your mind for all this imagined death that's not coming the way you think it's coming. It's not. It's part of this spell. This is all why, to get you to eventually be accept total technological control and to accept poison to be injected into you to further control your mind and your heart. So that's what's going on here. And to go just a bit deeper in burials, the way these words are used like this, mass graves, victims in mass graves. Why? Because unlike the 9/11 ritual, so to speak, that kind of cremation of care, some call it, or whatever, this is a holocaust of care, because it's folks worldwide in every so-called country, state, place, location is being affected by this spell. Are they not? In some way, shape, or form. And that can be seen through when you see the cracks in the foundation of the spells and the sorcery and the words being used, because words created all of these problems. Others misusing words with bad intent are creating these problems in the minds of those out there. So men, women, and children remain in a state of war, in confusion, in fear, but only inside themselves, only because they don't have the comprehension deep enough of the words being used toward them, at them, being shown to them and programmed into them. But once they do, and once they realize the depth of what it means to truly just be a man, woman, child of God, as brothers and sisters here, and see reality from that firm, stationary, unmoving rock of a foundation, well, then there's no more digging trenches into the earth or the heart being the anagram for earth, or that being the spot on the chakra system that lines up right in your chest, in your beating heart, because that's what drives the power of your mind. Without your heart beating, your mind can't formulate these thoughts. But while your heart is beating, your mind can see right through the sorcery of what's being done to it and put a stop to it. Kind of take captive all those thoughts and images, so to speak, and put correct order to it by simply not consuming their sorcery any longer and healing. So I wanted to put that out there. I wanted to say that before the others that might be out there, the snake oil salesmen, the tricksters, the linguistic artists, get a hold of it and then start to say, because this number, this way, that way, lead one way or another, to try and help lead others down weird, crazy rabbit holes or places of imagination so far out there, they just need not be stuck in such loops and thought patterns of disorder inside. So I wanted to just cut to the heart of this when I see ritual playing out on this Good Friday, this good day, and I do feel it is a good day no matter what's going on. As each day I do, in the core of me, in the center of me, I do feel good because I am filled with gladness, because I am full of thanks or thankful for the chance I've gotten to spend here in this life. Sure is something. And with that, I do say, all praise and glory to the Most High. And to the men and women that still think they're other than men and women and think they're other labels and this and that, you will get no praise and glory from me. Though I still look at you as my brothers and sisters, and I'm trying to help you as well. So anyway, thanks for listening. And I guess we'll see what happens on a few days, maybe in a few days from now, so to speak, maybe the light or the illumination inside the men and women and children out there truly takes place, takes hold, takes form, and with them recognizing it within them. Because all it seems right now, it seems to me we're all speeding through all these different times all at once. Times of sorrows, times of tribulations, times of repentance, renewal, refreshment. It just depends on how you are inside and where you are on your journey inside as to what and how you're experiencing you in your life, in your experience. Maybe something just to keep in mind, something to consider and maybe reflect on. So thanks for listening.